Three men control more wealth than the bottom half of America combined. One just walked out of the White House after slashing government agencies from the inside. Another bought the most powerful newspaper in the country and turned the Met Gala into his personal runway. The third is building an artificial intelligence so powerful it could render entire industries obsolete overnight. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is the new American reality. And the scariest part? Most people have no idea how deep this goes. Let's start with a number that should genuinely disturb you. As of May 2026, Elon Musk's net worth sits somewhere between $659 and $811 billion. Not million, billion. To put that in perspective, if Musk spent $10 million every single day, it would take him over 200 years to burn through his fortune. He makes more money while sleeping than most Americans will earn in 10 lifetimes. But here's what most people get wrong. They look at these numbers and think, wow, that's a lot of money. That's the wrong reaction. The right reaction is, what does that kind of money actually buy? Because at this level, money stops being about yachts and mansions. It becomes about something far more dangerous. It becomes about power. The power to shape governments, rewrite laws, control information, and decide which technologies get built and which ones get buried. In the third quarter of 2025, the top 1% of American households owned 31.7% of all U.S. wealth. That's according to the Federal Reserve, not some activist group. And recent polls from YouGov show that majorities of Americans now believe wealth inequality is a serious problem and want the government to do something about it. But here's the paradox. The very people with the power to fix this problem are the same people benefiting from it. Let's talk about the most audacious power play in modern American history. In early 2025, Elon Musk didn't just donate to a political campaign. He didn't just lobby for favorable regulations. He literally walked into the federal government, created an agency called the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, and started firing people. Think about that for a second. An unelected billionaire with massive government contracts through SpaceX and Tesla was given the authority to restructure the very agencies that regulate his own companies. That's not democracy. That's something else entirely. Now, Musk's defenders will tell you he was trying to cut government waste. And to be fair, there is a lot of waste in the federal budget. Nobody serious disputes that. But let's look at what actually happened. DOGE became one of the most controversial experiments in American governance. It slashed jobs, gutted agencies, and created chaos across multiple departments. Some called it necessary reform. Others called it a billionaire dismantling the checks and balances that are supposed to protect ordinary citizens. And then, just as suddenly as he arrived, Musk left. He stepped away from DOGE, stepped away from Washington, and went right back to running his companies. The BBC reported he was done. The New York Times covered his exit. He even took a shot at Trump's domestic policy, saying the signature legislation would add to the national deficit. But here's what nobody's talking about. During his time in DOGE, Tesla's stock rallied 23% in a single month. SpaceX merged with his AI company, xAI, making him even more powerful in the artificial intelligence race. His net worth jumped $36 billion in May alone. So ask yourself, was DOGE really about saving the taxpayer money, or was it about something else? Because here's what Musk understands that most people don't. In 2026, the real currency isn't dollars. It's influence. It's access. It's being so deeply embedded in the machinery of government that even when you leave, the changes you made are permanent. Musk didn't need a political title. He needed a political footprint, and he got one. But the Musk story goes even deeper than DOGE. In 2026, Musk merged SpaceX with his artificial intelligence company, xAI. Think about what that means. The man who builds the rockets that launch America's military and intelligence satellites, the man who operates the Starlink network that provides internet to war zones and remote regions, That same man now controls one of the most advanced AI systems on the planet. This isn't just a business merger. This is a consolidation of power that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. SpaceX already had more active satellites in orbit than every government on Earth combined. Now add xAI's Grok models into the mix. You have one private citizen who controls global communications infrastructure and cutting-edge artificial intelligence. No president in American history has wielded that combination of power. And Musk wasn't elected. He wasn't appointed. He wasn't confirmed by the Senate. He simply built it. And here's what makes it even more fascinating from a strategic perspective. Every time Musk does something controversial, whether it's his Doge work, his social media posts, or his public feuds, people focus on the drama. They argue about whether he's a genius or a villain. And while everyone's distracted by the performance, the empire keeps expanding. That's not accidental. That's strategy. The controversy is the cover. The real moves happen while you're busy arguing about tweets. If Elon Musk is the bull in the china shop, Jeff Bezos is the guy who bought the china shop, redesigned it, and convinced you it was always that way. Bezos doesn't make headlines for posting inflammatory things on social media. He doesn't pick fights with politicians on live television. His playbook is quieter, more calculated, and arguably more effective. Let's start with the obvious. Bezos owns the Washington Post, one of the most influential newspapers in the United States. The same paper that broke Watergate. The same paper that holds presidents accountable. That paper now belongs to a man whose company, Amazon, has billions in government contracts, including a massive cloud computing deal with the Pentagon and the CIA. Now, I'm not saying Bezos uses the Post for direct propaganda. It's more subtle than that. When you own the platform that shapes public discourse, you don't need to tell people what to think. You just need to decide what they think about. What stories get covered? What stories don't? What narratives get amplified? And which ones quietly disappear? But the real Bezos power move in 2026? The Met Gala. In May 2026, Jeff Bezos didn't just attend the Met Gala. He poured millions into it. He turned it into his event. And while everyone was taking photos and talking about fashion, something more interesting was happening behind the scenes. The Atlantic published a bombshell piece in May 2026 titled "What They Learned About Billionaires at Jeff Bezos' Private Retreat." The core thesis? Bezos, Musk, and Zuckerberg have clearly left the world of consequences. They operate in a reality where normal rules, legal, social, financial, simply don't apply anymore. Think about what that means. When you're worth $100 billion, a $1 million fine isn't a punishment. It's a rounding error. A lawsuit isn't a threat. It's a line item. Public outrage isn't a consequence. It's Tuesday. Bezos understands something fundamental about power in America. You don't need to control the government if you control the infrastructure. Amazon controls e-commerce. AWS controls the internet's backbone. Blue Origin is positioning for the space economy. And the Washington Post controls the narrative. That's not a company. That's an empire. And empires don't answer to elections. And Bezos has his own version of this playbook. While everyone was debating whether Amazon treats its warehouse workers fairly, Bezos was quietly building AWS into the backbone of the American internet. Today, a significant portion of the websites you visit, the apps you use, and even the government systems that process your tax returns, they all run on Amazon's cloud. If AWS went down tomorrow, large sections of the American economy would grind to a halt. That's not a company. That's critical infrastructure owned by one man. Blue Origin, his space company, just secured major contracts for NASA's lunar program. The Washington Post continues to set the agenda for political discourse in Washington, D.C. And Amazon itself has expanded into healthcare, groceries, entertainment, and even satellite internet through Project Kuiper, which puts him in direct competition with Musk's Starlink. What Bezos understands better than almost anyone alive is the concept of slow compounding power. He doesn't make flashy moves, he makes quiet ones, and each quiet move makes the next one easier. A decade from now, Historians will look back and realize that Bezos wasn't just building a company, he was building a parallel system of governance, one that operates alongside democracy but isn't accountable to it. Mark Zuckerberg might be the most underestimated of the three. While Musk grabs headlines and Bezos buys institutions, Zuckerberg is doing something that could end up being more consequential than both of them combined. He's building artificial intelligence. And not just any AI. He's building AI that already knows more about you than your own family does. Meta, that's Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Threads, processes data from nearly 4 billion users worldwide. 4 billion. That's half the planet. Every photo you post, every message you send, every video you watch, every product you click on, all of it feeds into Meta's AI systems. And in 2026, Zuckerberg has gone all in. Meta's AI investments are staggering. They're building data centers that consume more electricity than some small countries. They're developing AI models that can generate text, images, video, and code. They're embedding AI into every single product they own. But here's the part that should keep you up at night. This isn't just about making better product recommendations or cooler Instagram filters. This is about building systems that can predict human behavior, influence human decisions, and eventually automate human labor on a massive scale. The Guardian ran a piece with a headline that said it all. AI will make the rich unfathomably richer. And they're right, because here's the economic reality that nobody wants to face. When AI can do the work of a lawyer, an accountant, a graphic designer, a customer service rep, and a junior programmer, what happens to the tens of millions of Americans who currently hold those jobs? They don't get promoted, they get replaced. And the profits from that replacement don't flow to the workers. They flow to the people who own the AI. People like Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg isn't just building AI. He's positioning himself and his wealth to be completely insulated from any negative consequences that AI might create for everyone else. He's building the machine that could eliminate millions of jobs, while simultaneously building a financial fortress that ensures he profits no matter what happens. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg aren't just individually powerful, they're converging. Musk has political access and controls the future of transportation, energy, and space travel. Bezos controls commerce, cloud infrastructure, and media. Zuckerberg controls social communication, personal data, and artificial intelligence. Together, they touch virtually every aspect of modern American life: how you shop, how you communicate, how you get your news, how you get to work, what you see online, what the government does with your tax dollars, even what happens in space. What worries billionaires is losing their wealth. What worries everyone else is that billionaires have too much of it. We're living in two completely different Americas, and the gap is only getting wider. There are now 925 billionaires in the United States alone, and their combined net worth exceeds the GDP of most nations on Earth. Global billionaire wealth hit a record $15.8 trillion in 2025, and 2026 is on track to break that record. But here's the thing that separates the top 0.01% from everyone else. It's not intelligence. It's not work ethic. It's not even luck. It's the ability to operate in systems that they themselves designed. Musk doesn't play by the rules of politics. He rewrites them. Bezos doesn't compete in media. He acquires it. Zuckerberg doesn't adapt to technology trends. He creates them. This is the real billionaire playbook. Don't play the game, build the game, own the game, and make sure nobody else can change the rules. So what does all of this mean for the average American watching this right now? It means the decisions that affect your life, your job, your healthcare, your privacy, the price of groceries, the future your kids will inherit, those decisions are increasingly being made by people you didn't vote for, can't hold accountable, and will never meet. It means the economy is being restructured around artificial intelligence in ways that will benefit a tiny handful of people at the top and create massive disruption for everyone else. And it means that the traditional levers of power, voting, protesting, organizing, are becoming less effective against people who can simply buy their way around them. But here's the thing nobody else will tell you. Understanding this isn't about getting angry, it's about getting strategic. Because the same patterns these billionaires use, leverage, positioning, asymmetric thinking, building systems instead of just working in them, those principles work at every scale. You don't need $1 billion to think like a billionaire. You need to understand how power actually works, not how you wish it worked, not how your civics teacher told you it worked, how it actually works. The billionaire takeover isn't coming, it's already here. The question isn't whether these three men will continue to reshape America. They will. The question is whether the rest of us will understand what's happening fast enough to respond. If this video changed how you think about wealth and power, subscribe to this channel. We go deep on the psychology, strategy, and decision-making behind the world's most powerful people. No hype, no motivation, just real perspective. Drop a comment below. Tell me which of these three billionaires you think is the most dangerous, and I'll see you in the next one.